Welcome to the Little Spanish Farm podcast. Today it's me, Maria, and I'm going to be answering a really popular question at the moment, which is it possible for a UK person to move to Spain after Brexit? Now, before we go any further, I want to tell you what I am not. I am not a professional, I am not a legal entity, I am not an expert in these matters. What I am is interested in helping people who still have a dream of moving to Spain to actually achieve that. At the beginning, in 2016, when we had the referendum, we were promised a lot of things. We were promised that things wouldn't change. And indeed, a lot of people that I knew voted leave, and I said, well, hang on a minute. What happens to people like me who are living in Spain? What's going to happen there? And everybody was so confident that nothing would change. And of course, it has changed. In the interim period before we actually did Brexit, we felt like we were a forgotten bunch of people. It's been pretty hard. It's been really stressful. And a lot of people have left Spain because they didn't like the uncertainty of it all. And I completely understand that, especially more mature people, shall we say, who knew that they were going to need a lot of healthcare. Insurance companies were quoting £4,000 a year for some people. Some people were saying they weren't insurable at all. And it was all just up in the air. Nobody knew what was going on. It was terrifying, so I understand why they left and went home. Now, I am not interested in the legalities of it, aside from answering this question. Is it still possible for you to move to Spain after Brexit? Well, the simple answer is yes. If you have a holiday home and you don't want to live here permanently, the short answer to this is that you can come and stay here for 90 days out of every 180. That's 90 days out of 180 in any Schengen zone area. So you can't come here for 90 days and then go to Portugal for 90 days and then go to Italy for 90 days. You can't do that. You have to leave the Schengen area. So you can only do your 90 days out of 180 in any of those countries, just to make that clear. I've seen a lot of newspaper articles screaming that Spain has been really mean and that they're only saying that people can stay out for 90 out of 180 days as a kick in the teeth for Brexit. This is categorically not true. This rule about third country nationals has been in place in the Schengen area since forever. So this is not a new thing. This is just a result of leaving the EU, okay? So forget all that rumour mongering and nonsense and about the EU being bitter and twisted, because it is actually not true. This was always going to happen unless Mr. Johnson came up with a better deal, which he didn't. Don't even get me started. This man is just, the bane of my life. That's what you can do if you want a holiday home. You can stay for 90 days out of every 180, but then you're going to have to go back home to the UK. What I do want to address is living here permanently. I feel sad for anybody who had this dream of retiring here, who is actually close to retirement, because you've not got a lot of time to fix your situation. And that's really what I want to help you to do. You can still move here permanently. If you move out after the 31st of December 2020, you will need more money. It's a simple fact. Prior to 2020 and this Brexit, we were able to just move and live freely wherever we wanted to. But after 3 months, we were obliged to apply for residency. And to apply for residency, you had to show that you had a certain amount of money, that you had either a job, a business, or you had sufficient funds in your bank to support you so that you did not become a burden on Spain, which I believe is fair enough. Now, the situation has changed in that it used to be that you only needed the equivalent of Spanish minimum wage to have enough money. Now, after Brexit, that's not the case. The money situation is going to rise. I, again, would advise you to look at the latest legislation, because as it stands, I don't know how much that money is. It could be around about £2,000 a month each coming in before you will be allowed to stay here. That sounds like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, and if you're a pensioner, it's an incredible amount of money. And I feel upset that a lot of people have had their dreams smashed, that they feel like their dream of coming out here permanently is no longer available to them. And I want to say to you that it is, and that you shouldn't give up on your dreams. The difference is now you're going to have to compromise a little, and you're going to have to work harder to get your dream to be real. I can hear you going, but I'm on a pension, I'm due to retire and I don't want to do all this stuff. How am I going to get all this money together? Now, it is possible that what you're going to have to do is start a business. And I know that that sounds terrifying. You know, you've worked all your life, you're ready to claim your pension and just, you know, live in Spain and be happy about it and not have any responsibilities. But that is not going to happen anymore. I do find that there are a lot of people over here that believe that this retirement situation is going to be amazing, that they're just going to lay on the beach all day and they're going to just eat out and shop and it's just going to be marvellous. Those people tend to get extremely bored and they get fed up very quickly, because we're not really designed to live on holiday all the time. We have to keep our minds active, we have to keep busy, and laying on a beach for 8 hours a day and then going home for tea is just not it's not enough. So don't be afraid of the idea of starting some sort of side hustle that will give you the income that you need to be here, because it'll keep you sharp, it'll keep you busy, and it'll give you a purpose. So many people come out with no purpose in life and they fade away because of it. If you want to live in Spain permanently, things have changed. You're going to need more money. And that's basically it. The world is amazing for anybody who's got a lot of money. If you don't have a lot of money, not so great. So it's all about the money, honey. And you're going to need around about 20,000 per person to be able to live here. I think, don't quote me on this because, as I said, I'm not an expert and the figures change all the time. And the figures change depending on where you want to live in Spain. It can vary. I've heard that down in Andalusia they ask for less. In Valencia and Alicante they ask for a little bit more, even though government guidelines have told them it's a bit naughty. But they still do it, and unfortunately we can't really argue with that. So the requirements are higher. And I know that that has felt upsetting for a lot of people. But I want to tell you, it's not impossible. Nothing is ever impossible, and your dreams are possible. It's just going to need some compromise and some thought and some planning. It may mean, and I know this is going to hurt, working a bit harder for a couple of years. And obviously if you're looking at pension age and you're thinking, well, I'm ready to retire, that's going to be a horrible thing to have to face, that in order to get your retirement, your dream retirement, you may have to start a business. You may have to work an extra couple of years to put the money aside. You may have to make a couple of investments. Now, I understand if money is tight already, that is a difficult situation to be in. And I speak from experience. On paper, we didn't look like we had any business moving to Spain. We had no house to sell, so we weren't going to come over here with thousands of pounds. We had no transferable job skills. Our language skills, some of our family had nil language skills whatsoever, and I had a grasp of basic Spanish, which, when I say basic, I've forgotten more than I could remember. I did it at school and did really well, but it was a long time ago. So I desperately needed a brush up. We had to come out and start businesses over here, and it is not easy. The bureaucracy in Spain is, as it's always rumoured to be, difficult. But that is not a reason to give up. And that's the message I want to give you today. That even though things have changed, even though things are more complex, even though it's going to look like you're going to need a bit more money, it is still possible to come here, but you are going to have to work at it. It's got to stop being a dream. It's got to become a goal. And it's got to be a goal that you take action on every single day, because that is how I got out here. We were at rock bottom. We'd been living in emergency housing. I'd just lost a business. I'd lost my income. I'd lost my self-esteem, my confidence, everything. And coming out here would have seemed impossible on paper. We didn't have any savings. We didn't have a house to sell. It was ridiculous, really. We just had this dream. Once we realised what this dream was and started to turn it into a goal, every day we did something to take us closer to that goal. We knew that it was what we wanted to do. And we took, I think, 15 months from making the decision to come out here to getting out here. It's not been easy. Don't for a second think it's been easy, because it hasn't. We've had to have times where we've been separated because my husband has had to work in the UK to earn the money to stay here. It's been difficult starting businesses. It's been difficult integrating. There's a lot of things that are hard. But in my view, it's going to be hard to move out whatever you do, whatever your circumstances. There are always going to be difficulties. So what's another difficulty to add to it? You know? You might as well just crack on and turn your dream into a reality, because it can be a reality. There's no need to give up on it right now. You need to explore your options and figure out how you can still make this dream happen. And if you need help with that, that's where I come in, because I can help you with your mindset, with your mission to move to Spain. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please give me some feedback. I'd really love to hear from you. This is Maria signing out from Little Spanish Farm. See you next time. My confidence, everything. And coming out here would have seemed impossible on paper. We didn't have any savings, we didn't have a house to sell. It was ridiculous, really. We just had this dream. Once we realised what this dream was and started to turn it into a goal, every day we did something to take us closer to that goal. We knew that it was what we wanted to do. And we took, I think, 15 months from making the decision to come out here to getting out here. It's not been easy. Don't for a second think it's been easy, because it hasn't. We've had to have times where we've been separated because my husband has had to work in the UK to earn the money to stay here. It's been difficult starting businesses. It's been difficult integrating. There's a lot of things that are hard. But in my view, it's going to be hard to move out whatever you do, whatever your circumstances. There are always going to be difficulties. So what's another difficulty to add to it? You know? You might as well just crack on and turn your dream into a reality, because it can be a reality. There's no need to give up on it right now. You need to explore your options and figure out how you can still make this dream happen. And if you need help with that, that's where I come in, because I can help you with your mindset, with your mission to move to Spain. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please give me some feedback. I'd really love to hear from you. This is Maria signing out from Little Spanish Farm. See you next time. Feedback. I'd really love to hear from you. This is Maria signing out from Little Spanish Farm. See you next time.